Hi guys, so there were a number of disgusting antics on display by Boris Johnson and his party in the House of Commons on Wednesday during Prime Minister's questions. Starmer led with an attack on the pathetic sanctions regime that Johnson has imposed on Russian oligarchs, where they have up to 30 days to get their money out before facing sanctions, and the fact that many people have yet to be sanctioned. Starmer highlighted one individual, and instead of responding, Johnson invoked his Brexit tactic to deal with the question.
Last week, Putin summoned to the Kremlin the cronies who prop up his regime. They dipped their hands in the blood of Putin's war. Among them was Igor Shuvalov, Putin's former deputy prime minister. Shuvalov owns 2 flats, not 5 minutes' walk from this house. They're worth over £11 million. He is on the EU sanctions list, but he's not on the UK sanctions list. When will the Prime Minister sort this out?
Mr. Speaker, I think the House should be proud of what we have done already.
No, that's not the question. The question was, why is this guy not on the sanctions list? Why is he not there? When is it going to be sorted out? When is he going to be added? This guy owns property worth £11 million in Britain, in London, as Keir Starmer said, 5-minute walk from the House of Commons. Why hasn't this been seized? And why hasn't this guy been sanctioned? When is it going to be? When is it going to happen?
And I can tell him that there is more to be done, and thanks to the powers that this House and this government has taken, we can sanction any individual.
But this is where the Brexit tactic comes in. Boris Johnson, in the run-up to Brexit, says we need to leave the European Union in order to cut VAT on fuel. Now he's saying we have the powers to sanction any individual, but we're not going to sanction this guy, or we haven't already. And he hasn't, and Boris Johnson doesn't say that he's actually going to sanction this guy. So this individual, who's not some, office cleaner at the Kremlin, he's the former deputy prime minister. He has property in London worth £11 million. Seize it. You have the power to do that. Why have you not done it? Now, once again, this guy has already been sanctioned by the European Union. So it's not some rogue individual that nobody knows about. He's quite famous. Why has he not been sanctioned?
Any company connected with the Putin regime, and this government was amongst the first in Europe to ban Aeroflot.
This is irrelevant. We're talking about individuals that should be sanctioned. They haven't been sanctioned. You have turned around and said, we can sanction anyone we want. So you have decided not to sanction this guy. Why have you decided not to sanction him?
Mr. Speaker, from our skies, this government led the way last week in banning the use of SWIFT, Mr. Speaker.
How is this relevant to the idea that there's an individual in London who has properties worth £11 million? Boris Johnson, of course, trying to distract here. This is what I'm talking about, disgusting behaviour.
And if he talked to any of our European partners, he would understand the leading role the UK has already played and the impact that those sanctions are already having.
What sanctions? Because there are certain individuals not being sanctioned. So it's pointless talking about, well, we've imposed very severe biting sanctions, but not on certain individuals. An individual who used to be the deputy prime minister of Russia, very closely connected to Putin, and who owns property in London. Yeah, we've imposed terrible sanctions on these individuals, but not this guy. Now, it'd be interesting to know, has this guy given money to the Conservative Party? Because I think that would probably answer many of our questions.
In Moscow. And as I've told him, the squeeze is growing and it will continue to grow on the Putin regime.
But not all of it. Not, some people within the regime will feel the squeeze, but not everyone, because, you know, we don't want to punish everyone, because some people have perhaps donated to the Conservative Party and we don't want to punish those people. And other people have property in London, and maybe this is, you know, helping the economy or something. I don't know, really. What is the excuse? Why is this individual not being sanctioned? Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.